Cheers, everybody. Welcome back. This is part 2 of North Carolina properties. And these ones are $55,000, $44,900, and $40,000. So let's venture back into North Carolina, shall we? Cheers, everybody. Hope you're all having a great day. It's always great to be with you. If you're new to this channel, you're welcome to subscribe and hit that like button, because this is where we venture through state to state, through town to town, see how much house, cabins, and acreage, and sometimes churches we can get for our money. Now, in the previous episode, we saw houses, or properties, I should say. We didn't get a whole lot of interior views, but they're properties nonetheless with wells, septics, and electrics, and they are electric service, and they were $38,900, $36,000, and $25,000. So definitely check out the previous episode. So we're going to begin right here in Edenton, North Carolina. This house is sitting on almost a half an acre of land with 1,093 square feet of living space with 1 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. And it was built in 1969. It's only been on the market 2 days, so it's hot off the listing press. So this one's $40,000 in Edenton, North Carolina. So let's see what we're getting for our money. Let me scroll back. Now, this may be a mobile home with an addition, but we do see a shingle roof. It's vinyl sided. We have some nice shutters. They may have taken photographs with a phone, so let's see what we're getting here. This one is in Edenton, North Carolina. Now, in Edenton, North Carolina, we are in Chowen County, where the population is 4,485 people, and the real estate tax rate in North Carolina is 0.73%. This looks very nice. It looks like it's been well cared for. And again, we're looking at $40,000 for our price points, and those are the asking prices. Never be afraid to make an offer. You can have home inspections. You can have general contractors come out and take a look at these properties. But we have to remember, we're getting a house, the well, the septic, the utilities. And if you're sitting on city municipal utilities, you may be way ahead of the game. But nonetheless, if you buy a house with some property in a country area, and if that well and electric or well and septic are in good working order, those things are thousands of dollars, and you can, hopefully be way ahead if those are in working order. Look at this. So there looks like we may have laminate flooring. Looks like we have a couple different levels of living here. Light bright interior space. Looks like that may be a gas heater there, and your AC unit there is built in the wall. $40,000 in Edenton, North Carolina. More houses with low prices and high potential. We need to save houses. People need houses, and houses need people, right? I want to say a big shout out to Ryan Hall's channel. Ryan Hall, y'all. He has been keeping us all informed of the crazy weather that's been happening. So a shout out to that channel. If you're not familiar with that channel, Ryan Hall, definitely familiarize yourself with it and get yourself in tune with the weather that's happening maybe in your area or in your loved ones' areas. It's just amazing, those storm chaser teams that they are encompassed with. It's just incredible. So here we do have a wood stove in the corner. That's nice. The windows may be vinyl. They may be wood. Sometimes they're aluminum, but that's what the contractor will inform you on. Yeah, those may be slider aluminum windows there. Nice, though, letting in a lot of North Carolina sunshine. $40,000. And in this area, I think the median sale price or median home values, are around $234,000. So here's our kitchen. So we're going to find out what's going on with that sagging ceiling. But again, we don't expect these to be new and shiny when they're at these price points. They are houses that need some attention, houses where we can't be afraid to roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty. So there's our possibly our propane stove. Ceramic tile flooring in our kitchen here. Cute cabinets. You can always paint them up, switch out the hardware if you want. Hope you're all having a great day. It's great to be with you. If you're new to the channel, welcome to our community. It's always an exploration to see what kind of house is out there for the money. And remember, you don't have to pay the list price or the asking price. You're welcome to make offers. Base your offer on what you feel the house is worth to you or the property. This one's going to need some scrubbing. It's got some character, though, doesn't it? Concrete floor looks really nice. You could always remove these shingles on the inside. You can always take those off there. And in the previous listing, there was a brick house with what looked to be cedar shakes. And if you were to paint those cedar shakes a lighter color or a darker color and just spruce the outside of that place up, it has more than 1,700 square feet of space and it's 36.9. So here we do see an assist handle. Now we do have a shower. We do have a window in our bathroom here. Now that's a little bit of a step up for somebody. Some may not like that. Perhaps you could modify this bathroom, make it a little bit more accessible for you. I can understand why there's an assist handle there. Be very careful. That's the bathroom nonetheless. There's our linen storage. We're looking at $40,000 for this property. So that's your little deck area on the front. There's your little storage building. Looks like we may be in a community. Edenton, North Carolina, and this one's in Chowen County. Getting almost a half an acre. There's your outbuilding there as well with a little lean-to on it. Nice place to park your lawnmower or your whatever you want to put in there. Nice little piece of property, nice little garden area right there. Maybe you could have, depending on your community or your county, maybe you could have some backyard chickens, maybe just a couple. Just 2 or 3 or 4 chickens produces a lot of eggs, especially if you have golden comets. Golden comets are great layers. This is very pretty. The parcel itself, just from what we see here. You always do diligence, always research your neighborhoods, but look at that beautiful setting right here. Edenton, North Carolina. $40,000. So for those of you that don't want to spend a lot of money, I mean, I think $40,000 is still a fair amount of money, don't get me wrong, but if you don't want to spend more than $150,000, $200,000, $250,000, maybe just a low-priced house is what you're looking for that needs a little love and attention. So here we see a sign for Arrowhead Beach. I like it. There's our heron or a crane maybe. Maybe it's an ibis. Can't quite tell, but it looks like a heron from here. Beautiful. Arrowhead Beach. Okay, so let's get some details. 322 Pueblo Trail, and this is Edenton, North Carolina, 27932. And again, the listing agencies, the counties, and the addresses are in the description box below this video. 1969 build, and let's look at our satellite view here real quick to find out where we are. Pueblo Trail, so we're going to scroll out. Look at that location, right on the Chowen River. Beautiful, not far from Skinnersville, Pea Ridge, Albemarle Sound. Pardon me if I'm mispronouncing that. So we are not far from Kitty Hawk, Kill Devils. Beautiful. There is the Virginia line up above to the north. So we're above Plymouth and we're to the east of Ahoskie and Scotland Neck. We're to the west of Elizabeth City and we're to the west of Belvedere. Let's look at our satellite view. Look at this. Beautiful. There we are. This is 322 Pueblo Trail. Any of you take a look at this, let us know. It's $40,000, and that is in Edenton, North Carolina. Very interesting property right there. Okay, so now we're going to move over to Fairmont, North Carolina. Now, Fairmont, North Carolina is in Robison County. Population is 2,191 people, and the median home values in Fairmont, North Carolina are just under $135,000. So they're asking $44,900 for this house. It's on a lot that's 6,970 square feet. The house itself is 880 square feet. The structure, I should say. And it's been on the market 18 days. Now, just to look at this exterior photograph here, it looks like it's just a garage. It's 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. And it's at 1002 Martin Luther King Drive. And it says it was structured and built in 1959. So let's see what we're getting for $44,900. That looks like a garage with rough cut siding. But we do see it has a shingle roof. It's a covered front porch with patio space is what I'm seeing. I see a lot of places for a pop of color. I'd line this whole side with flower boxes after I give it a fresh coat of paint. $44,900 in Fairmont, North Carolina. Okay, so we see laminate flooring, we see paneling. Not a surprise, but we could always paint this. Could remove paneling, hang shiplap, beadboard, whatever you want. This might have more than one use if you're looking to spend under $45,000. And again, the real estate tax rate is 0.73%. Maybe you could turn this into a home office slash living space for yourself. Save yourself some money. Just revitalize your neighborhood, revitalize communities. As I mentioned in the previous episode, join your local farmers markets, grow a garden. Right here is a house that somebody could live in for $44,900, or you can make them an offer. That looks like the bedroom with a little closet. There's our living room with some 2 pass-through windows. Now somebody might want to go in there and open that up, maybe put a header in, have more of an open floor plan. This is cute. Do have some carpet. This is another one of these properties that is a little deceiving from the exterior photograph, and you could get in there and just modernize the interior space. Even if you had to renovate these properties when they're coming in at $45,000 or $36,000 or $25,000, even if you had to put on the high end $50,000 into these houses, you're still under $75,000 for a home to live in and a roof over your head. Maybe you can do a little bit at a time. Maybe you've got friends and family that can help you. Maybe you can live in a camper on the property while you're renovating. This one looks really cute. A little dark, but we can lighten it up. Does have a lot of windows. There's your garage. Tons of potential right here for $44,900 in Fairmont, North Carolina. Maybe you want to keep the lower level one living area. Maybe you want to add on to the top. Put a second level on it with a nice overhead deck. Why not? Possibilities are endless when it's your own. That looks like we're moving into the bathroom. Maybe this is a bedroom area. You lighten the walls in this house, or even add wainscoting or beadboard, whatever you want to call it, really make a huge impact. There's our bathroom with a tub and shower combination. There's that lid, people, the lid. I promise I don't look for these houses with those lids open. I promise I don't. Looks like it does have a nice updated faucet and drop-in sink there. That's nice. Yeah, lighten the outside color. You could brighten this up. $44,900. Looks like the yard is fenced in. You have an attached garage. And again, we're in Fairmont, North Carolina right here. Plenty of room for outdoor entertaining also. If you have a pet, a couple of dogs, it's fenced in. Yeah, this is got your parking there as well. 1002 Martin Luther King Drive. It's been on the market 18 days. That structure was built in 1959. Let's get a look at our street view here. Fairmont, North Carolina. Here we are. What we can see of it, not sure why we're getting such a... Let me try to go back here. Let's take a look at our satellite view. Here we are. I'll go back to the map here in just a minute. So we're in Robison County with this one. So you do have a DG, you have a Food Lion, you've got a dental, you've got a lot of local amenities here. So we're right above Gaston. Got a golf course. And there's your South Carolina line. So you're not far from South Carolina by any means. Let's go back to the map here and see if this, yeah, there we go. Fairmont, North Carolina. So we're south of McDonald and we're north of Barnesville. There we are. So this is southern North Carolina, not far from that South Carolina line. 1002 Martin Luther King Drive. And the details state it's a charming 3-bedroom, 1-bath house offering a fantastic investment opportunity, great potential for growth. You have 880 square feet of living space situated on 0.16 acre lot. Property is perfect for those looking to capitalize on a prime location. Again, you could have a home business, I'd say. And when we look at the details on the history, it was, it's been listed for $45,000, listed for $49,000, removed, decreased to $39,000, listed again for $52,000. Now they're down to $44,900 and 66 years old. I'd say spruce that up and call it home and see what you can do with that. Yeah, that's got some opportunities and possibilities, I'd say. $44,900 in Fairmont, North Carolina. So now we're heading into Chadbourn, North Carolina. Check this place out. It's sitting on 3.2 acres of land. So again, if you're getting the well and the septic and your electric, if 1 or 3 or all, 1, 2, or 3 work, this might suit your needs. $55,000. The house itself is 864 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. It's only been on the market a week. It was built in 1946. So let's take a look at our street view real quick. Look at this. How pretty is this location? Wow. But again, we do diligence on the locations and neighborhoods. But yeah, nice. 3.2 acres of land right here. And let's see if they're going to show us anything. $55,000 in Chadbourn, North Carolina. We're in Chadbourn County. And in this neck of the woods, we have a population of 1,574 people. So it's, again, small town. And the median home values in this area are $164,000. So you can build more equity. 3.2 acres of land. You could totally have a little farm here. It looks like the roof might need finished. I can't quite see if that's shingles or not. We do have a covered entry. Looks like it's been vacant for a while. You can always ask the agent to find out how long it's been vacant. Ask if there's history on the utility bills. Get the general contractor out there and get a close look. This might be a great find for one of you out there. Looks like we do have a covered area here. Looks like that's ready to be a fruit stand, doesn't it? There's your parcel. Nice rectangular parcel. 3.2 acres of land. Remember, you can always make offers. They're asking $55,000. That's really pretty. So you do have your walkway there, trimmed in wrought iron. Shaded. Chadbourn County, Chadbourn, North Carolina. Wow, look at this. Okay, so this is a little raw, but if that's okay with you and you want to finish a project, this might suit your needs. It does have hardwood floors. That would not bother me, what I see here. If the less I have to rip out, the better, I'd say. And it's just going to continue to get warmer in North Carolina, so you could live off your land. Get yourself a Dutch oven, build yourself a fire, have those backyard chickens that are old enough to produce some eggs. Go grab some bacon and sausage at the local market. There's your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Could live a little rough around the edges for a while. Still, it's $55,000 with 3.2 acres of land. So it looks like they began working on it, or maybe they just, removed a lot of the interior, but we do see wiring. See flooring that's intact. See 2x4s. It looks like wood siding. You may want to have a termite inspection, but that looks like a little pergola area. Beautiful. This is tons of potential. 3.2 acres of land. So this may be the front of the house or the back of the house, not quite sure. But they took out all the insulation if it had any. They don't show us much, do they? These agents, they really are skimping on the photographs and the fine details, but all the more reason for you to go take a look at this in person. 5170 Chadbourn Highway, Chadbourn, North Carolina, 28431. All the listing details are in the description box of the video below. It's been on the market 7 days, built in 1946. Let's look at our map view here. So you have a community college nearby. Maybe you want to go to school and renovate a house at the same time. It can be done. Here we are. Whiteville is to the east. Fair Bluff is to our west. We have Tabor City down to the south. Bladenboro to the north. You're not too terribly far from the Myrtle Beach area by any means. And there's our satellite view again. Calling all investors, fixer-upper with 3.2 acres of land, maybe your first-time home buyer. It's being sold as is, where is. But again, this may, I also want to include, this may qualify for the rural agricultural rehab loans. Always look into that when we're looking at property. And I want to mention that this house has 3.2 acres of land. If you want more land with this house or any other, it's always a good idea to ask the listing agent to find out if the seller has any more land that's available that they haven't attached to the actual listing. So it's a great location close to Southeastern Community College. And when we look at the history, it was sold for $40,000 in 95, sold again for $27,000 in 22, and now they're listing it for $55,000. The house is 79 years old. So again, they don't show us much, but all the more reason to take a look at it in person. They're asking $55,000. And that's in Chadbourn, North Carolina, on 3.2 acres of land. And we have this one here in Fairmont for $44,900. Your garage with your business and your home base as well. And then we have this one in Edenton. That's $40,000 on just shy of half an acre. And has 1,093 square feet of living space. And that'll do it for part 2 of properties in North Carolina with low prices and high potential. So between the 2 episodes, we went from $55,000 all the way down to $25,000. So there we have it. Hope you're all having a great day. It's always great to be with you. Happy weekend. We will see you in the next episode. Be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, because you never know, the house you're not looking for may be in the next episode. Tell your grown kids to check out and subscribe to this channel so they can see that there's houses out there that are way below the median sale price that need saved. Have a great day, everybody. Cheers.